Hello YouTube, this is Ty376 and welcome back to yet another edition of Stories from the Friendzone. It's the segment where we go to the Friendzone subreddit. Guys, if you're looking for anything that has to deal with stories from the Friendzone, you can go to friendzone.me. That's the new place for it. All the stuff is uploaded there. Plus, I'm doing some extra daily stuff. Trying to get up in the morning, kick myself in the ass a little bit. And, since I'm reading through all of these shitty stories anyways every day, I'm just not, I haven't been recording all of my thoughts on them, but I like to peruse them and such. Been going through the teenagers subreddit and the teen relationship subreddit. Also taking a peek at the Forever Alone subreddit, although probably not going to touch that because that is just a danger zone. But I've been doing some daily stuff to where, take a look at some of those stories, record a quick, 5-minute deal on it, and then I throw it up on the website at friendzone.me. My guy friends always fall for me. How can I stop this from happening again? I don't mean to sound arrogant or something, but I have lost 7 guy friends because of them falling for me, and it pisses me off because if they really like me and care about me, then they should still be my friends instead of just stop talking to me when I tell them I don't feel the same. Dudes, do you want girl friends? Or just a girlfriend or someone to have sex with? Well, you're probably super hot. So if you're going to be nice to any guy, they're going to automatically, be attracted to you and think that they have a chance with you. So, if you're a guy, why not just fucking let it go? Why not let it fly? Here's this hot chick. She's kind of my friend. I've warmed up to her a little bit, and now I'm getting into that nice guy phase, you know what I'm saying? So we're warming up to her a little bit. Yeah, she thinks that we're friends and we've, been talking on the regular for 3 months. And then after a while, I'm just going to drop it on her. I'm just going to give her the ultimatum. Either you go out with me or I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And then you're like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah. It's going to happen. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're not leading them on. You don't give them prolonged eye contact or, touch them a little bit more than a regular friend would. But, as long as they're not doing that, they're just being stupid guys and falling head over heels for some chick that's been paying attention to them for longer than 5 minutes. And yeah, they probably want a bone. How do you get them to stop doing that? Be an uptight bitch. Talk about other guys. Maybe talk about how you're boning some other dude. Maybe laugh anytime they suggest that, you guys should be together. Tell him all of his hobbies are really stupid. Those are just some things to kick it off. I guess if I could give one thing, because this has to be happening from dudes that are hella nice, and maybe, like I was kind of saying, they try to ease up by being friends first and then they drop the bomb on you, is, stop them when they're about to do something, when they're about to sacrifice something of themselves to give it up to you, you know what I'm saying? So if they suggest to do something out of the way, oh, I'll pick you up from such and such and I'll drop you off, no problem, blah, blah, blah. Or if they offer to pay every time you guys go out, then you should just tell them to stop. You should just tell them, hey, you know what, I'll pay half, I'll cover my half or whatever. Tell them, oh no, my girlfriend's gonna take me, or, I worked something out with someone else, or make sure that you return the favor at some point. Basically, don't give them a reason. Now, it's not exactly your responsibility to make sure that they don't fall head over heels and act like a complete douche afterwards. But if you're wondering how you can stop this from happening again, just try to keep that seesaw balanced as much as possible to where he doesn't have a reason to think that you owe him something or something fucked up like that. I think I'm a unique situation. I deliberately friend-zoned myself because I pursued her with the only interest of just befriending her, but I also fell for her at the same time. The feelings were massive, and it took all my effort to not act on them and ask her out. Furthermore, I actually told her early on in the friendship that I had feelings for her, and me and her tried to work through them together so the friendship wouldn't die because we both just wanted to remain the close friends that we were. In a crueler twist of fate, I now somewhat regret making sure I would just remain friends with her as she dates another friend of mine. I'm not an easy person to deal with, and she was able to deal with me. I fucked up, and now I can't change it. Anyone else ever heard of a situation like that? Never. So unique. Never heard of that happening before. Never heard of dude basically shooting himself in the foot because he thinks it's gonna save face somehow. I just want you to recognize the irony of how you tried so hard to make sure that you didn't take that extra step and ask her out, and just to realize that afterwards you're like, oh shit, I definitely should have done that. Look, I don't know how old you are, but I can tell that you're not that old. You're definitely not a 30-year-old person. So what I'm going to say is, you know what, at this time, asking a girl out is not the biggest fucking situation. It's not like the worst thing that could ever happen. It's, you even stated it yourself. You wanted to go that distance. Now you realized it after the fact, but you still wanted to go there. Now is the time to be doing that kind of stuff. I'm just reading over, me and her tried to work through them together so the friendship wouldn't die. Because we both just wanted to remain the close friends that we were. You didn't want to just remain close friends. You definitely wanted to ask this chick out. You should admit that to yourself. You are not in a unique situation to answer your question. There's plenty of other guys and girls that are in your situation. They're like, that do this exact thing. That they think that they can eventually be in a relationship with someone by starting off as like being the nicest person and the closest friend possible. I mean, sure, it happens sometimes, but not in your situation. And if you're listening to me, not in your situation. If chicks ended up dating their close friends, their closest close friends all the time, or like a majority of the time, you would have a lot more bisexual chicks. When you are a girl's closest friend, you are basically a chick in dude form. She's just gonna come to you and relay all her problems onto you and, use you as a crying shoulder and stuff like that. And that's not how you become a boyfriend. That is how you become a chick. So, next time that you have this situation, now it's a fucking dumpster fire. Just leave it alone. But the next time that you come up with a situation where you see a girl or you get close to a girl, and if you have feelings, or even if you think that you have feelings, immediately you say something. Take that extra step because it's going to be worth it now. You're going to be regretting it later. And this regret that you feel now is way deeper than the slight discomfort that you would feel if you asked this girl out. As a male, I didn't expect to friend zone a female friend. Loss of attraction? So back in the day, I used to like this girl. Later, I found out she had a boyfriend, but I was having so much fun with her that I didn't want to spoil what we had. Now she doesn't, but now I'm not super attracted as I was before. Why do I not want to have sex with a 23-year-old good-looking girl in the prime years of her life? She is more like a bratty little sister than a sexual partner in my eyes. Thoughts? You jerk off too much. Stop jerking off. Stop watching porn. You're going to want to bang this chick. I mean, what do I say? How old are you now? You know, you're going to be looking back on this. Let me tell you something. You may have abundant pussy now. There might be reason enough to, let this one slide because maybe you're checking out some other chicks or maybe you got something else going on or whatever. But you're going to look back on this at some point in your life and be like, why the fuck didn't I do that? And it's for the reason that I'm telling you right now. Jerking off too much. Stop watching porn. Stop jerking off. 23-year-old good-looking girl in the prime years of her life. Yeah. Magically. Magically. You stop jerking off for a week, dude, you see a binder full of paper and you'll get a boner. I'm at a crossroads. Is it all or nothing from this moment forward? Here's my story. I met this girl a couple months back, didn't start talking to her as much until recently. Anyway, it was me and a good friend of mine that were pursuing her. He happened to get with her before I did. All she was to him is a fuck. I actually like this chick. I'm not sallow enough to care that they hooked up a few times. She went on vacation for a few weeks and I was talking to her during that time. She tells me she wants to talk when she gets back. Eventually we do. I assumed it might be about my friend. It was. She asked me, since I'm so forthcoming with people and I give it to them straight no matter who it is, if she should chase him. I told her no, my buddy didn't care. I even let him know right after. There was no ulterior motive, just honesty. 2 days later at a club I meet her friend. I can see that her friend is into me. It becomes a competition between the two for my attention. The girl I'm after dances on me and everything, even calls me out. I see you're cheating on me with her. She begins to sit on my lap. So I decide to give her my focus rather than the other girl. Shortly after, her ex shows up at the club. I didn't know right away and I only found out at the moment I turn around he kisses her. She eats it up. Now it seems to be a fight for her between him and me. Obviously, I should have made my move sooner. I attempted to make move anyway and give her a peek on the lips. She asks, what am I doing? I tell her I like her and all that shit. She says, why didn't I tell her? She then tells me that she had given me plenty of opportunities. Obviously, because she's fussing about my friend to me, I didn't see it that way. Looking back now, I definitely did have some opportunity, but there was always that fact of her catching feelings for someone else. I didn't feel like I was a focus. She said, let's talk about it later. I said tomorrow. We never did. This is now 2 days after the bar. She shoots me a text saying she got her answer about my friend. Sends a screenshot of him just trying to get her to come over and bang. I tell her she needs to be a big girl and decide what she wants to do. She says she won't chase someone who has no interest in her. I tell her, well, I just saw you do that with your ex who cheated on you. Maybe I too blunt with it, but I feel like I owe no apology. She was the one who wanted me to give it to her straight. I haven't since gotten a reply. I messaged her about something else later that day. No reply. We've been out of contact for the last few days now. Here's my question. What's my next step? I'm bound to see her soon because of mutual friends. When I do, should I pretend to ignore it all and act like it never happened and see where it goes? Should I shoot the girl a text and say hi? Or should I say how I feel about the whole situation, and depending on how that goes, if she's interested, ask her out. If not, cut her out completely. I refuse to be that guy who's just an emotional support beam. You sound bitter as fuck. Dude, that's the only thing. I mean, I get, wanting to be honest and give it to her straight and be that super blunt dude, but I mean, that saying that shit about, oh yeah, well you just did that to your ex, blah, 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 that's salty, bro. And you know that shit. Yeah. I mean, do you contact her again? No. I mean, dude, she's pissed off at you. She's mad at you because you said that shit. Here's the thing. Like she said, and she's pissed off at you for this. Let me be serious about this. She's mad at you because she gave you plenty of opportunity. As she stated, she put herself out there for you and gave you several opportunities so that you could make the move, right? And what the fuck is this? You had 2 chicks on you at one point. You had the one friend on you, and now the chick that you're actually after comes over on you. Dude, you could have turned that into something. You could be kissing on the one girl, and then you could turn to the other one and be like, alright, make out with me. Dude, you'd be a straight fucking baller. And then, at that point, when, your crush inevitably gets up to fucking, eat her ex's face off, then you still got the one chick. And you're not fucking weird about like, oh, well, I was actually after my crush, but now, there's this other hot chick that was feeling on me. It's like, dude, just stick to the one, man. And honestly, if you stick just the one friend that had the hots for you, then the crush is more likely to follow if you just stick with the friend. Because then she's like, oh, it like validates that in her eyes. Is like, oh, this guy is like actually could possibly get laid by some other chick. I better scoop him up too. And then, but anyways, she's mad at you because she stuck her ass out. She stuck her ass on the line a couple times, it seems like, in this story. And then, she goes back to her ex because her ex, however much of a douchebag or whatever he may be, he's one of those dudes that's actually gonna make a move when she gives the signal. And then, she comes back to you. Of course she's gonna come back to you after, it didn't work out with your friend or whatever that he just wanted to bone, because you've been an emotional support beam the whole time. And then when you shoot back with the, super, like, nice guy retort, and then mask it in this, oh, I owe her no apologies, it's like, it's this whole thing where she broke your heart, but you didn't tell her that you were like super interested and wanted to make it a thing in the first place. So she's like, why is he doing this? You know how they fucking are. You just gotta be straightforward with your intentions. At this point, do you contact her again? I mean, no. You could pull the nuke option of just like, look, hey, I fucked up. Don't live in it too long. Just be like, you know what? I don't know. Ask her what her friend's phone number is. Because that's, you might be able to save yourself there. That's the dichotomy, man. That's the tightrope that you gotta walk. Is like, your friend is one of these guys that's gonna, text her, saying come over and bang. And you're the kind of guy that asks to, talk about it on some day when she gets back or whatever. It's like, you know what? Maybe you're not the kind of guy that is gonna text a girl and say like, hey, DTF, but you on some level have to be, assertive with it. You have to make your intentions known with her, or else you're going to do this thing, which it sounds like you did, which is you didn't really put yourself out there all the way. So she was willing to meet you halfway on some level, maybe sitting on your lap. It's like she gave you opportunity and you like shut her down. You didn't go for it. Can you blame her at that point? Accidentally friendzoning a boy. How do I get out of it? A few months ago, I met a guy in a 5-year relationship We just basically got on really well, and it was always a bit flirty/bantery, but that was it. Just a nice friendship. 3 weeks ago, he and his girlfriend split up, and since then we have been pretty inseparable. He works and lives 2 hours away and has come home for the weekends, which we have spent together with mutual friends in the evenings, but in the day alone. We flirt and talk for hours and get on so well, but I think I might have friend-zoned him and he also me? We went to the club with a big group of friends and I told him not to dance around me because he would cock-block me the whole night. We both talk about people we find good looking when we're out together, and I stayed at his house and told him he had to top and tail with me. In all of these situations, I have been drunk and he's sober. He doesn't drink. We message all the time during the week whilst he's working away and talk for hours, but I don't know if he sees it just as a friendship or more. I know he is still a little upset about the ending of the relationship, but he says it's 100% for the best. He also knows I'm leaving Germany for England again in 6 weeks and that I don't know if I'm coming back or not. However, he is coming to London a month after I leave and we have planned to meet. Anyone have any insight or tips of how I can find out if I'm in the friend zone or not, or how I can make him realize I like him? Thanks. Smiley face. Just kiss him. Or I guess, leave the kissing up to him, but look up at him, stick your chest out, and then push your chin up towards him, towards his face. And then, maybe he'll kiss you. I don't know. Are you like scared of getting with this guy? Like, getting with him is gonna ruin our friendship? I mean, I'm just looking at, why would you tell him to not dance around you because he would cockblock you? That is like something, I picture you just saying that nervously to him, like in kind of a joking manner, but maybe then he takes it as like, oh, well, she's trying to get laid. I have no fucking idea what top and tail is, so I'm not going to try that. Maybe he thinks you're really freaky because you get really drunk all the time and he doesn't. And he's like, man, this chick is trashed. I don't know. Try to make out with it. Try to bone him. But it says that he got out of this relationship 3 weeks ago. Now, your post is from 2 months ago. I'm just getting to it. But maybe he needs a little time to get over his girlfriend or whatever. Maybe he needs a rebound and you can be that for him. Maybe he actually likes you a lot and doesn't want you to be a rebound and wants to make it something more than that. Maybe he knows that you're going to be leaving Germany for England and you might never come back, so he doesn't want to get into something that, I don't know, it sounds like a lot of bullshit. Because, I mean, if you're going to be leaving in a few weeks and he might never see you again, then he might be like, yeah, hell yeah, hit that shit up. But, I don't know, maybe he's one of these nice guys that just, like, not really focus on making the move. I mean, this is what I'll tell you. Just like I said, try to get him to kiss you. Face him, poke your chest out, push your chest out and your chin up, and then look up at him, and then maybe pucker your lips a little bit. And then if he kisses you, then that's how you know that you guys aren't in the friend zone. And if he doesn't, then he's a little bitch. Let's see. All right. This last one I'm going to get to goes to an outside website. So let's go over here. And the main picture, it looks like a topless Betty Page in the pose of like, draw me like one of your French girls. And the caption is, what was once more available to the average guy. Anyways, what created the friend zone? I'm wondering if the cultural norms of yesteryear are a bit to blame. The idea that you're supposed to find someone and pursue them. Years ago, men used to court a woman. You would ask a woman's parents or father for dating or marriage privileges. Also, people dated and married pretty close to their own socio-economic group, meaning a woman could only marry up one, maybe two steps up the social ladder, and because of that, most men only had to compete with other guys who were pretty much on the same playing field as them. And from the woman's point of view, no matter who she chose within her available options, her life was going to pretty much be the same. So things like how nice the guy was, or similar interests, mattered a lot more. Also, picking the type of man who is less likely to someday, quote, leave for a pack of smokes and never come back, was a must. Every woman had at least one sad, lonely spinster aunt who got swept off her feet by a charming Romeo 20 years prior, only to get abandoned after he deflowered her. So basically, the man that would be put in the friend zone today would have been the first choice for a husband then, simply because he would be the safer choice, and back then woman had too much at stake to risk on Romeo. They did not have the safety net of Section 8 housing, food stamps, and court-ordered child support. They had to pick the guy who would be there through thick and thin, the type of guy who today stays in the friend zone for years. Flash forward to today, with reliable birth control, the breaking down of social stigmas, that smoking hot redhead from the trailer park can attract and marry a doctor or lawyer. So basically, an average guy is forced to compete with the top 20% for the women that were once in their dating pool. Basically, when it comes to relationships, modern times only benefited wealthy men and very attractive poor to middle class women. The biggest losers in these modern times are the average guys. We got the short end of the stick. But the second prize of loserdom goes to average women, you know? The girl who is cute but a little on the chubby side, or the girl who has a nice build but not very appealing facial features, known on the net as the butterface girl. Though they don't know it, because men in the top percent will gladly sleep with them, but they often won't marry them, and by the time they realize it, their best years are behind them because they pasted up guys that would actually love them, chasing bad boys or rich guys. You see modern times increase their dating options, but their marriage options are the same as they have always been or lower, because more attractive women from lower socioeconomic classes are now in their marriage pool that were not there before. Back when I used to bartend, it seemed the biggest complaint average-looking women would have was about guys dating them for years only to break up with them for a prettier girl and marry her a few months later. And the biggest issue the hot women had was guys wanting to rush into marriage. And those same girls would be in the bar 10 years later saying, I am established now and want to settle down, but no guys are interested in long-term relationships. Why? Well, the answer is simple. She spent her peak years establishing herself and casually dating. So as an average guy, what do you have to look forward to? Thanks to all this social progress. Some 35 to 40-year-old women with a shattered life who screams yes to your marriage proposal over the sound of her biological clock while trying to hide her sadness because she views you as 3 steps down from the 10 guys she turned down for marriage in her late teens or 20s when she was finding herself or building her career. Or you finally get that girl who friend-zoned you all those years ago, only now she is 50 pounds heavier, has 2 to 4 kids, and has pretty much hit rock bottom. Ain't life grand? By the way, there's a ton of, porn ads on the side of this website. But they're not links to, any porn sites that you actually know. They're, really sketchy looking ads. And, it looks like escort ads, actually. Oh my god, yes. These women just look amazing. Yow. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, dude, if there's a fucking, this is such like a woe is the modern day fucking 25-year-old white dude. Look, if nowadays, if there's a doctor or a lawyer out there that is, marrying a redhead trailer park trash, we're talking about someone who has, been in post-secondary education, have gone to college for 4+ years, very smart dudes that are going to trailer park houses and picking up the trailer trash there and marrying them. You would not want to be that guy. And by the way, that is like implying that you're actually jealous of those guys for getting the trailer trash. Like, you would actually prefer to have, a trashy chick just because she's smoking hot redhead. Got it. You couldn't be a dude with some kind of standards. Not necessarily that living in a trailer park house is bad, but I'm just saying that it wouldn't necessarily be her fault that the doctor or lawyer like fell in love with her and wanted to marry her. I mean, that's a dude's choice. Look, the dudes that are in the friend zone for years nowadays still wouldn't have been the first choice back then, whenever back then is. They still would have been fucking losers that, didn't know how to make a move on a girl. Except there wouldn't have been internet porn back then. So maybe even the dudes that were in the friend zone eventually grew enough balls to fucking, say hi to the chick that they liked. Guys gotta get over this fucking idea of like, there's nothing left in the world except sluts. Which is what I'm basically getting from this website. Is like, oh, what do us, 25-year-old normal middle-class dudes have left in the world? Some 40-year-old woman with her biological clock, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that way. If that's all you focus on is being upset that the only thing that's left for us out there is some fucking old, leather vagina, then that's what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? But if you put in a little bit of effort, show a little passion and actually try to get something other than, leather vagina, then maybe you'll end up with it. You got to turn that negativity and that pessimism around into a little bit of optimism and like, look, you could be getting a chick that's your age. You could be, hooking up with, some chick that looks like Betty Page that's laying down in a pose like one of your French girls. You gotta go out there and look for it. You gotta mine for that gold, That's not gonna fucking show up on the internet, that's for sure. I mean, it is, but not in the form of like actual human being. But I mean, you gotta work hard for it. You can't fucking sit around and be pissed off that, a bunch of chicks that you're never gonna bone are off boning a bunch of dudes that you don't give a fuck about, and you're pissed off at them for looking better than you. It's like, you know what? You gotta go out there and do some work. How do people feel when, they see fucking fat people? They're like, hey, you should lose some weight. Well, how do I feel whenever I hear about some dude that's pissed off because, he's in the friend zone for years and we got nothing to look forward to except for fucking 40-year-old fucking women who have already had a couple kids? It's like, dude, put in some work. Alright, I'm gonna do one more. Crawled out of the friend zone. I think I might have fallen into her creeper zone. Can I recover from this? Recently told this girl that I have been friends with for a while now how I feel about her, and she texted me saying we should talk more and get to know each other better. I called her the day she texted me this and talked to her right before she went to bed. Called her the next day, but she was asleep already, and she responded with a text the next morning. Here's where I fuck up. I texted her on a Friday night, she responded, then I double texted her, then sent a text asking if I could call her. Why did I do that? I was too excited, I guess. She was busy, and I was probably annoying her. Then, as a shy guy that is awkward about questions in conversation, I made an HTML page with 3 JavaScript buttons that generate questions of different categories in an attempt to get to know one another on a more personal level. Sounds cool, but I emailed it to her that night. Why did I do that? I think she was actually considering... Yeah, dude, don't fucking do that. Wow. I think she was actually considering taking me out of the friend zone, but I took things too fast and smothered her. Is there any way I can recover from this, or should I just move on? I'd take getting back into the friend zone if I could. Man, I screwed things up. I have 0 experience with relationships, so any thoughts, advice, or criticism would be greatly appreciated. Dude, you like created a mini OkCupid profile generator and fucking sent that to her email. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, that is the most convoluted way to get to know somebody. That's the funny thing that guys do sometimes, is like, we totally overthink shit. What does it mean she wants to get to know me on a more personal level? I know. Make up some fucking nerdy HTML JavaScript bullshit that automatically generates OkCupid random questions. Yeah, I mean, you know, just as a dude, you probably just got way too fucking excited. Like he said, you gotta slow that shit down. Oh, man. Texting is so fucking weird nowadays, man, because people, you know, guys and chicks do this. They, like, plan, well, I think mostly guys do this, is they, like, plan out their texts, you know? So it's like, oh, man, I texted her on Friday night and then, like, saw something else funny later that night and thought it'd be funny to send it to her, and, like, so I did that, and then the next morning I, like, texted her, asked her if I could call her. It's like, no, dude. Fucking just don't talk about any of that shit. How do you get to know someone on a more personal level? Is you text her and be like, hey, we should go to this and this place. We should go to fucking Burger King or whatever. And we'll get a burger and shake. And, I mean, I don't know. If she likes Burger King, then I guess do that. But... and then actually meet up in a place and then, you know, just hang out a little bit. Go for a walk in a park or some shit. You know, there's a park nearby, right? Just fucking go for a walk and, like, talk about shit. Oh, man. And you texted her on a Friday night like that? Like, hold on. Now I'm serious. Okay, it's a Friday night and this dude is fucking texted me once and he double texted me. And then later on in the night, he sent me a text and asked me if he could call me. Dude, I am out with my friends, having fun, you know, not even fucking around with my phone or whatever, and, like, you know, maybe hanging out, having some girl talk and some pillow time. It's like, I'm not trying to fuck with dude on, like, a Friday night. By the way, why is he fucking texting me on a Friday night? Why isn't he out with his friends? Why is he fucking sending me all these texts on Friday night? He should be out having fun, doing cool shit, playing airsoft, or looking at fucking porn on his friend's computer or some shit. But no, he's fucking at home building some kind of, you know, web page with a question generator. Come on, dude. She's like, fucking nerd, he's a square. Come on, bro. That shit is hilarious, though. Okay, so what do you do now? Just leave it alone, bro. I just wondered, how do you recover from that? Because my equivalent to that, I think, is like sending like an e-card through the email. First off, you fucking emailed it to her. Like, you didn't text it to her. You didn't send it to her on Facebook. You fucking had her email address. So, like, this is the way I'm thinking about it. It's like you go to fucking the ecards.com or whatever, and you find, you know, an e-card that you know, is like two teddy bears hugging or something like that. And, you know, and then when they hug, there's like a little heart that pops out, and it's all interactive and shit. And you can like fill in whatever you wanted to in the heart. So it's like one of the questions from the random question generator. The heart pops up and it's like, what was the name of your first pet? Would you say you're more religious or scientific? How do you feel about racism? Like really shitty questions like that. And then you would go ahead and fucking type in her email address, who's the recipient gonna be, and then she gets it in her email. She opens it up. She has to go to the fucking e-cards website. On a Friday night while she's at her friend's house, and she's like, why the fuck did this kid just send me a fucking e-card? Yeah, dude, don't get too excited about fucking, you know, texting and double texting and shit, especially not on, you know, Friday and Saturday night and stuff like that. Just text her and see if she wants to go out. Not now. Like I'm saying, I don't know if you can recover from this. You can try to go all the way, but I mean, cause it's just a Hail Mary at this point, but, yeah, just ask her if she wants to go to such and such place, or we should go to such and such place, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, take that advice for next time, bro. Alright. Alright, guys, that's gonna be it for this edition of Stories from the Friend Zone. That one was a good one. I like that last one. Guys, if you thought this was funny, share it with your friends. Make sure your friends hear about it. I know they're probably in some shitty friend zone situation. I'm looking at the queue right here. I got so many friend zone situations to deal with. Other than that, friendzone.me for all the updates. Guys, I hope this helped, and we'll see you later.